Just how special was it to get to be the owner that brings basketball to India?
It's an experience that is beyond my wildest dreams. I grew up in Bombay, India. That's the country of my forefathers, the land of my origin. And to be able to take the game that I've fallen in love with, NBA basketball, and bring it to my hometown, that was surreal for me. When we finally had the tip-off and I saw the ball go up, it was one of the most iconic moments of my life. I'm just incredibly humbled that we finally get to take the Kings to my hometown, to the country where I was born, and I'm just speechless. It's just such an ecstatic moment for me to be here with the players and my colleagues. India is like a ruckus democracy. You get off the plane and you get assaulted with sounds and sights and smells and colors. It's a spectacle, and it's just going to be fantastic. The Taj Mahal is one of the 7 wonders of the world. It's an iconic structure. It's a monument to love. When I took Vladi and Kings executives like Martina to India to kick off NBA India 5 years ago, I actually said you can't leave India without seeing the Taj Mahal. So I flew them to Agra, they saw the Taj Mahal. So when we made plans to take the Kings to India, I knew that you couldn't leave India without seeing the Taj Mahal. So we made Agra our very first stop.
And just being able to see this, and you've seen pictures of it, and it's obvious, it's honestly amazing just being able to see it in person.
I got to stand in front of the players and get amazing pictures with them. Well, the Taj Mahal is a symbol of India's amazing past. You know, for 1500 of the last 2000 years, India was the world's largest economy, and here we have one of the 7 wonders of the world. It's a monument to love, and in many ways, that's what India has been about. It's a loving country, and if you see the people and the spirit and the soul of the nation, I think this is a great symbol of that. I believe that this is an experience that they'll never forget. They got to see one of the 7 wonders, and they got to learn some of the history of India by walking through this monument of love. And so to watch their reaction, to see how they engaged with the structure and with each other, it was a great learning experience, it was a great bonding experience, and it was a great way to unite everybody.
But I really appreciate that you guys did this long trip.
Oh no, this is great. This is amazing. Yeah. I mean, everybody's having fun. You see everybody's faces. So thank you for allowing us to come here.
When we made plans to take this trip to India, I shared a message with the players, and the message was some history about India, but also to prepare them for what was ahead of them. As a proud American, I am so excited to have all of you come to the country of my birth. When you land in India, your senses will be assaulted by a cacophony of sights, sounds, smells, colors, and it's going to be like nothing that you have ever seen before. And I would encourage all of you to reach and to lean in. Taste the spicy curry, engage with the kid on the street, try the experiences that represent this great subcontinent known as India. And I'm delighted to say that all of them reached in. I had a Bollywood night party, and I had outfits, Indian outfits, sherwanis, made for all of them, and they got to choose the colors. They looked amazing in these outfits. I had a turban tire where you could pick the color of the turban and a guy would tie the turban for you. And many of them put their turbans on. I had Adam Silver wearing a sherwani. I had the governor of Indiana wearing a sherwani and a turban. So everybody reached in and they experienced this ancient, magnificent culture of the Indian subcontinent.
Coming up on Kings Central.
If you just imagine this boy from Bombay who left the country with $50 in his pocket, and then to have those fans chant the name of my team, Kings, Kings, Kings. You can just imagine what that meant to me and how heartwarming that was for me.
And history is made here in India. Rocked it, stolen, Barnes, breakaway, see you later. Fox takes a bump and put it in the book and send them to the line. De'Aaron Fox.
Having a actual NBA game in India has been a labor of love for many years for me. It actually started when I was still a corner of the Warriors, where I created, it was actually my daughter's idea, Bollywood Night. And the first Bollywood night we had, I had shirts made up for everyone that said "Got Curry," play on Steph Curry's name. And then Steph and his then fiance stayed behind after the game, and Raj Mathai from NBC emceed a session with Indian fans. So that was the beginning of the journey. When Adam Silver became the commissioner, I told him that the first thing he's going to have to do is go with me to India. So about 5 years ago, Adam and I made the long trip to Mumbai, and we launched the efforts in terms of NBA and basketball in India. Now, since that time, we've made great progress. So we now have 10 million little boys and girls bouncing basketballs all over the country. We had 150 million viewers last year. We have an academy, we have clinics. So we made a huge amount of progress. But to actually have the game take place there, there was a lot of planning and there was a lot of work involved. And so it's been a 5, 6, 7 year project for me. Adam Silver jokes that he has a hard time saying no to me. So every time I ask him to make a commitment, he says yes. I said, Adam, you're going with me to India? He said yes. I said, Adam, we're going to start investing in India and growing the game there. He said yes. I said, Adam, one day we're going to play a game there, an actual preseason game. He said yes.
And here come the Kings 2-on-1. Bogdanovich with Ariza. Beautiful bounce pass. Oh, a thing of beauty here in Mumbai, India by the Kings.
And so now I'm saying, Adam, we got to do more. We got to have a league there. We got to continue investing in the youth over there. We got to help foster the next generation of talent and bring it back to the US. We got to help these guys build new arenas. And he said yes, yes, yes. So in my mind, this is a really important step, but it's just a step, and there's many steps ahead of us.
Second left, Yogi Ferrell. Oh, how about Yogi Ferrell? Wow. Yogi Ferrell with a prayer at the end of the half. And the fans here in Mumbai are seeing a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I see NBA teams playing in India as being something that becomes a regular occurrence, just as you see in China. For 1,500 of the last 2,000 years, India was the world's largest economy, and it's one of the fastest growing economies today, and at some point in the next few decades, it'll go back and be one of the top 2 economies. So it's a really important market for the NBA, but it's part of our vision of making the game global. So I fully expect that teams will be going back to India, and this will be part of the regular NBA schedule.
Nice setup. Oh, look at that dunk by Holmes. Another assist for Bogdanovich, his 7th.
I actually got to go to center court and watch the Pacers on one side, watch the Sacramento Kings on the other side, and there they were actually warming up, ready to play a real preseason NBA game in my hometown. That was unbelievable. And then to be able to stand there and welcome the fans and to say that I'm a Mumbaikar, a Bombayite, and to get a ovation from them and to say, hey, this Mumbaikar is bringing this game that he loves all the way to Mumbai. That was beyond my wildest dreams. Well, if you just imagine this boy from Bombay who left the country with $50 in his pocket, and then one day he buys a basketball team and brings it back to his hometown, the country of his origin, the city of his birth. And you have thousands of fans many of whom have never seen an actual live basketball game before. And what they're witnessing is an actual NBA game, a preseason NBA game. And then to have those fans chant the name of my team, Kings, Kings, Kings. For them to say MVP, MVP, MVP every time De'Aaron was making a free throw. You can just imagine what that meant to me and how heartwarming that was for me. It was a small arena that we had in Mumbai. They don't have the big, beautiful arenas that we have in this country. But what we did is we said, look, as long as it's a small arena, we want to make sure that we don't forget the kids. Because for us, it's all about the future, and the kids are the future. So we had 3,000 kids actually in the stands. And these were kids from different backgrounds. Basketball brings people together. The only question we have is, we don't care if you're a Hindu or a Sikh or a Muslim or a Parsi. We only have one question: do you have game? And to be able to see these kids, and clearly they were of different ethnic origins and different religious backgrounds, and to have them sit there and enjoy a world-class basketball experience, that was fantastic. They were going crazy. They were cheering for both teams. They were cheering every time somebody scored. The energy level that we had throughout the whole game, that arena, was unbelievable. It was like an NBA final. It was electric. And it was driven by the young people. My hope is that we're able to do a lot more of that in Sacramento. We have been doing that, where we invite young people, but I'd like to make that an ongoing practice.
Buddy Hield. Buddy buckets. We're all leaving at 128. Oh, boy.
I thought it was amazing. I mean, it was awesome. It was what a cool event to be part of, NBA basketball. We talked about it as a team before the game, but NBA basketball in the middle of India, in a crowd full of kids that have come through junior NBA. And then we got out to the court, and like you said, it's, whoever scores, they're cheering for. They didn't. It was, I heard Kings chants, I heard Pacers chants, so it was.
Yeah, when the Pacers was losing, they was going for the Pacers, and when we started losing, they went for the Kings. But it was a great atmosphere, and those kids remember for the rest of their lives. Us coming down here, playing game basketball on the highest level. In India, like Coach said, it's big time, and I enjoyed myself. I'm still enjoying myself here. The people in India are very welcoming, and they treat you with a lot of respect, so I'm happy to be here.
One of the things that the NBA world knows, and the sports world knows, and now the entire world knows, is that we have the best fans in the world. Sacramento Kings fans, number one. They're the best fans in the world. When I bought the team and I came here, I got to know Sign Lady. I had fans actually bringing me birthday cakes on my birthday, driving all the way from Sacramento to Palo Alto. So to see a Sacramento fan in the stands in Mumbai, holding up a sign, that was amazing. It was amazing.
Coming up on Kings Central.
Drake is actually, I believe that other than the Raptors, he's a Kings fan. He has been to our games. We worked with the NBA and we did what we had to do to get the best possible plane for the players. And I think the players were quite pleased with the experience. One of the signature moments for me was going to a school. The NBA and the Kings, as well as the Pacers, collaborated on helping local schools. And so we went to one of those schools. And again, it was in my hometown of Bombay. They speak Marathi, which is my native language. And it's a language that I hadn't spoken in years. My sister and my cousins were there, and my sister brushed up my Marathi, so I was able to actually stand in front of these kids and greet them and speak to them in Marathi. And I just saw the excitement in their eyes and what amazing kids they were. Dikembe was also there with me, and so Dikembe and I walked into a classroom and we got to see the teacher teach a class, and then we got to engage with the kids. So here was Dikembe, who was probably the tallest person in his class, and I was always the shortest guy in my class. So here were two of us that we couldn't be more different. We came from different parts of the world, very tall, short, and we were united by our love for basketball and by our love for what basketball could do to influence the lives of kids. Dikembe asked the kids, and he said, "What do you want to be? Who wants to be a scientist? Who wants to be a doctor? Who wants to be an engineer?" And the kids raised their hands. And I think the message was very clear that you could be short, you could be tall, you could have any background, but with hard work, your dreams could be a reality. When I was there and I engaged with the kids, I told them that, look, I was just like you many years ago, and you guys actually are better than me, you're smarter than me, and you now have a computer lab, you have a basketball court, I had neither, and I know that anything is possible for you. The future, anything. Dream big, work hard, never give up, and your dreams can come true. Engaging with those kids, talking to them, walking there and being engulfed by a sea of happy, smiling children is one of those moments in life that you will treasure always. Going from Sacramento all the way to Bombay was the longest trip that any team was going to take. And I was very concerned about the health of our players, and I wanted to make sure that that was a trip that could be done with as much comfort as was possible. So we spared no expense, and we did what we had to do in order to make sure that our players would get there rested, healthy, happy, in a good state of mind. And so we did what we had to do in order to make that happen. Drake is actually, I believe that other than the Raptors, he's a Kings fan. And he has been to our games. So we worked with the NBA and we did what we had to do to get the best possible plane for the players. And I think the players were quite pleased with the experience. When I first envisioned that the Kings would one day play an actual preseason NBA game in India, I had big dreams on how that would roll out. Having been through that experience, I can say that it exceeded my wildest expectations. The reception that we got, seeing billboards all over the city with Kings and Pacers players on those billboards, walking into an actual arena that looked like it was an NBA arena if you saw it on TV, having two NBA teams there, getting this incredible reception, looking around the room and seeing a who's who of people. The richest guy in the country, the most famous actress.
Hi guys, I'm Priyanka and I'm here in India, and this is the NBA Mumbai India games for the first time ever, so it's super exciting. It's the Kings versus the Pacers, and it's an amazing game so far. I'm having the best time.
Comedians, academics, kids, it was just amazing, you know, to be able to see that. This is a country that is cricket mad, is cricket crazy. When you heard them chanting Larry Bird, Larry Bird, Larry Bird, it showed that they had learned about the game, they got it. And so to go to my hometown, the country of my birth, and to watch Indian Mumbaikar fans appreciating, cheering the game that I love and that I had brought there, beyond my wildest expectations. I just wanted to take this moment to thank everyone who made this trip possible. You know, my partners at the Kings for supporting me, the executives who worked so hard to make this happen, Adam Silver, David Stern, Mark Tatum, Kelly, the NBA organization, that really, it was a leap of faith for them to even agree to do this. And then of course, the amazing city of Bombay, the fans, the people who worked so hard to make all of this happen. So I just wanted to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart. This was an incredible experience. I believe that it's the first step in an ongoing and long journey. But thank you, Namaste.